And when I got on bond, my mother said, she really struggled to scrape the dimes and nickels up to get me out. And she said to me, son, don't go back to them backwoods. Because the backwood area was the area that I really learned how to sell drugs, carry guns, and all of the stuff that comes with that lifestyle heavily in that area. So she said, don't go back to them backwoods. Before the sun was down, where you think I was at? Back in the backwoods. And that cycle was ongoing again until April the 7th of 1994, when I was in a little apartment complex on Beach Street, and police department surrounded that complex and took me to jail under the charges of terroristic threatening and gave me a bond that I could not make. So from there, from that April, I stayed in jail in the juvenile park from April until June, when I was taken to court, and I eventually took that plea bargain for 35 years in prison. So at 15 years old, I'm sentenced to 35 years in Arkansas Department of Corrections.
15 years old?
At 15.
Adult prison?
Yes.
Man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you truly understand what that meant at that time at 15, or as you got into your sentence, you like, wow.
That's the whole problem of the street culture that we glorify, is when a young person is in the streets or when they get in trouble, the full impact of the consequences may never hit that child until years down the road. Because if you come from a family that's been to prison and they survive, you're in a totally different mindset than somebody else who may have family members that never been to prison. Because even on a subconscious level, you thinking, if this brother survived and this brother survived, then I'm gonna be okay. But you're not even thinking about the time. You're not thinking about the where you left at. Like you 15, you leave the streets at 15. There's a lot of psychological growth that stops.
Yes.
Simply because you're not going to be exposed to certain things.
So you can literally go in at 15, come out at 35, and still
be 15
mindset.
If you're not careful, you still be 15. Absolutely.
So I think I'm gonna tell you what I think, and you kind of give me your opinion on it. Do you think being incarcerated at that age or at any age can form some type of PTSD?
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you look at, and I was fortunate enough to be a substance abuse counselor in the prison, and while I could not make diagnosis as a psychologist or psychiatrist, we did study the DSM-4 as part of our training and understanding what certain clients would go to. And if you look at the symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder, you would see those same symptoms that come from people who have been involved in war. You would see some of those same symptoms in inmates coming out of prison. Not only that, you'll see some of those same symptoms in people who are in situations that are traumatic in the community. These young brothers who are seeing their homeboys get killed or who are involved in killings They're seeing people go to prison for a long time. There's some survival guilt that's there. And so they're experiencing, brother, literally the same thing psychologically as the people who fought the Vietnam War.
Is there some things that you would put in place or a conversation that you would have to some of the youth to try to help curb some of this erratic behavior, or just sharing your story? Do you think that could help, help them go down another path?
Brother, I would tell you this. In the prison in 2020, I was transferred as a counselor from the Wrightsville unit after doing 6 months in their training academy. They sent me to Varna because many of the counselors were afraid to go there. And I went. And from there, the Arkansas Department of Corrections sent me all over the state to talk to young people. In schools and churches, civic organizations. And periodically I see some of those children now who are adults. They have children and they tell me, what you said to me at Watson Chapel or at Jack Roby or at Malvern Junior High, whatever the school was, what you said caused me to turn around and do some things different. I think that those who have been through the fire of affliction, that they are sometimes regulated to the back burner and they are not allowed to deal with young people in a mass situation that can really help them. It is a little unfortunate that a lot of our people in suits and ties, they haven't lived their lifestyle. They don't know, they don't understand, they don't have the empathy, and they don't know how to relate to those children who are in bad situations. And if you don't understand the nature of the problem, there ain't no way you can provide any solutions.
So, from your experience or just mental health, do you think mental health get overlooked a lot of times when it should be the mental health piece of it being looked at instead of the criminal portion?
Absolutely. Not only do I believe that, but I have experimented in a way with young people in controlled environments that shows that it's absolutely a fact. I have did lectures with young people in trouble, but then I have did small group processing sessions where things have came out where I've did the small group sessions where things have come out and I have had to shut those groups down. Because those children open up and they reveal so much till you have to be careful because you got to understand you're there for a moment, but you leaving. And what they revealing can leave them vulnerable if there's not a system there to help them work through that process once you're gone. Our children who are involved in crime are hurting. And sometimes parents have never had a conversation with them so that they can understand what's going on so the healing process can start.
Maybe, and sometimes the parents are still dealing with it and they don't know the correct way to heal and cope.
That's why it has to take a village. There are adjustments that the children need to make, but there's also adjustments the parents need to make. There's adjustments that government can do a better job. Our religious institutions can do a better job. But that means we all have to look within ourselves, and we have to be willing to make changes in order to save those young people who are on a destructive path. And what I see in community is we who are in leadership are not willing to make the changes we need to make to save those people who are on the wrong path.
All righty. Well, I appreciate you for taking the time and coming and speaking with us. And before you leave, is there anything that has been on your heart that you want to share that I haven't asked? Just something you just want to get off your chest.
I wanna say this, dear brother, that going into the prison at 15 and coming out with a sane mind and the ability to navigate this world crime-free is not a coincidence. A lot of times when people come out, we don't understand the way they do their time determines whether they're going to be successful or not on the outside. I was blessed to do my time in a way that has allowed me to come April, it will be 20 years that I've been out of prison. It's about how your time is done. Incarceration, whether it's in a juvenile center, whether it's in the jail, or whether it's in prison, incarceration can be your tomb as a death sentence, or it can be your womb as a place to grow, develop, and birth forth with a new beginning. I was blessed, brother, to be able to use prison as a womb rather than a tomb.
All righty. There you have it. Jahar Muhammad.